Oh, how's everyone's week been so far? Is he getting? You seen a lot in the tunnel with your property manager starting?
How many weeks to go?
Yeah. How's the calendar looking on the? Exciting. Exciting. It's like a. So on the way here, I was thinking, you can't see my truck from here. I've got a kayak on the roof of my truck. I do a lot of kayaking. This kayak is a mate's kayak, and it's been sitting down, I think I've used it once. It's been sitting down the side of my house for probably 2.5 years. Unused. And I put it on the roof of my truck. So I contacted him on the weekend, put it on the roof of my truck, and because he lives up Northwood Way. So it's on my truck, and I'm organised to drop it off. But on the way here, I was thinking, fuck, that feels good to get it. It's been there 2.5 years, and now I'm getting rid of it. You know, brilliant. Only since Monday. Yeah, because I knew it was coming out here. So if I put it on the roof, I can't put my own kayak on the roof. So then I've got to get rid of it. Right, that was my thinking. If I put it on the roof while I'm thinking about it, then it's there, it's visible, it's obvious, and I can't put my own kayak on the roof. So I can't go kayaking. It is, yeah. I'm conscious of that, but I did see something about this yesterday. I was thinking take my roof racks off and stuff, but I know. And mine, you can see some of them like they look like that kayak looks like that. Mine are fixed. You can get some that collapse, which would be much better. So I'm thinking for the extra $80, it's probably worth getting the collapsible ones too, because they won't take up as much. They still do take up a lot of fuel, but it's a hazard of like in kayaking and cycling, I suppose. But anyway, as I said, I felt, and the kayak's really shitty anyway, but I just felt so good driving here this morning knowing I'm dropping this fucking thing off today after 2.5 years. When's the last time you've done something like that? When's the last time you've gone, well, for you, Lana, it might have been, I finally got that electrician sorted.
I know, one of the lights hasn't been working since we got there, so that's 4 years.
Yeah.
Another good thing that we use is that Macca finally moved the door kennel that we put outside the lounge because Colin never will use it ever. So that means I can do something more with that kennel.
Yep.
And that's been there for 4 years.
Yep.
So why is it sitting here? Put it in the shed, get rid of it. I want to do it with a sitting area.
And that's like,
I looked at it and said,
yeah, it's done. What about you though? Obviously the light. Do you kind of go, God, that's great having that fucking light done after 4 years? Did that occur to you, or like was it like, so good? What about you guys? You guys had anything that you can think of? No. How long do you let them annoy you for, though, before you take care of them? That's the question, right? Yeah. Yeah. So what about you, Nicole? Do you have anything? Yeah. Got to be done. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, did you show Nicole that Ultravet thing? Did it come through? Yes. Remember that?
Oh, yes.
Was that him? Do you think that was him? Yeah, my Nicole says the same about me. Should share it with Lana too. But so the stuff that we're talking about now, the kayak on my roof, the lights, the dog kennel, this is all procrastination, right? And it's a really good example of, like my kayak wasn't going anywhere. And every time I walked up the side of the house, I saw this kayak. And I'm like, fuck, just get rid of it. I have to walk around it. It's blocking the path. It was just a pain in the ass, but I never did anything about it. And to be fair, it's not, like it wasn't life-changing. It wasn't a work thing that I was putting off and putting off. It was a very simple piece of procrastination and a very meaningless piece of procrastination. But what made me think about it this morning was how I felt having done it. It's on the roof, and it's got, because it was never going to go by itself. It wasn't going to put itself on the roof and go to Johnny's house. So that's the power of overcoming that procrastination. Well, because he lent it to me, so it's my responsibility to drop it back. Really, no, he doesn't. He doesn't. He probably would. Yeah, he'd probably prefer it at my house, because now I'm going to put it at his house, and it's going to be downside of his fence for however long, but that's his problem. But that's, and that as I said, in a nutshell, that is procrastination, right? Like we put these things off, and then they don't go anywhere. It doesn't disappear. Every time we walk past the kayak, we think about it. So yeah, there's a syndrome called that. I can't remember what it's called, but if it's something that has a deadline, because as I said, that's quite meaningless, and that's why it took 2.5 years, right? Because I just walked past, it's just still there, Yeah, or if you're my wife, a massive crack in her windscreen that she can see every time she gets in the car. So let's not get into the vagaries of my relationship. Yeah. 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 Well, we saw Nicole go from that to that, but and you're right. Those small innocuous things that are meaningless. Doesn't really. I mean, it didn't matter if that stayed. It wasn't going to affect anything. But if we put that situation into a work or professional environment, we can't afford to just forget about those things, forget about the kayak, right? Because there's a deadline, there's a reason for that particular task. So I flicked you through this online workbook. Did you guys all get that? Yeah. So I wouldn't mind just having a wee chat through it if you're comfortable doing so. Did you guys see it? So I would like you to, I mean, hey, at the end of the day, I can't, I'm not going to hold your hands, and we could spend time doing it now, but I think it's something that you guys can do. But it is, the purpose of the workbook is to help you to identify those procrastination moments. So if we go through it, the front page is just name and stuff. So the opening one is just reflections, and we did this together last week. So it's just the one thing at work you're putting off, one thing at home you're putting off. But it's good to get those things written down, because when we write things down, they become real, and there's something that we can recall over time. So that first page is really a bit of reflection. What have you got? Do you want a copy of this, Barry? Yep. And then how does it feel having that thing there? Because remembering that thing doesn't ever go away, right? So it's just a little bit of reflection. Then the next section there is understanding procrastination. Because if we understand something, we're more likely to be able to find solutions for that particular thing. So there's a definition there, and it's very clear here. We went over this last week, what procrastination isn't and what procrastination is. Now that definition is important because all too often procrastination is just seen as laziness, or you can't be asked, or but there is always a reason that we put stuff off. Okay, and we talked a little bit that as well. So then there's some questions there, and one of the things we talked about too is the difference between delaying something and procrastinating on something. Okay, I remember sometimes it's okay. You might have to delay something because you're waiting for a specific piece of information which you can't, or you have no control over. All right? It's when we see something and we go, oh no, I'll do that later because I don't like it, because I'm scared of it, because and we talked about those last week. That's when it becomes procrastination. Then recognizing your pattern, and again we did these statements together last week, but again rating them 1 to 5 and just understanding yourself a little bit better is really powerful. So go through and rate yourself on those. And then we talked about these 4 categories of procrastination. So trying to then link yourself to the most common procrastination driver for you. And so this is all about reflecting on how you procrastinate, what you do. So the easiest way to reflect is to write things down. And that's why there's this big thing about journaling at the moment, which I don't do, but I see the value in it for those that do enjoy it. Then we go into some strategies. Again, we talked around those strategies and the in the moment tools where you understand, you recognize procrastination right now. So what can I do? And we talked about those as well, and they're written down there for you. Okay, so part of the solution, a big part of the solution is just to start, but not to think of the big picture too much. So I'm just going to give myself 5 minutes. I'm going to give myself 10 minutes. I'm going to do this thing, and then I'm going to do this thing, and then I'm going to do this thing. Before you know it, you've done 5 or 6 things, all on that same task. So if it's a big task, okay, I'm just going to read it for 5 minutes and open the file and read over it. Okay, and then I'm going to find the 5 important points out of this article, and then I'm going to summarize these, instead of doing just that one task, and break that task down. So we're eating the elephant. Then it just gets into some of your strategies. How are you going to manage moving forward? Okay, and it looks at the different types of strategies. So remove distractions, and this is one thing that will be really powerful if you choose to do this, because and I know, Lana, I think for you mentioned that your environment at home is one of your biggest, what you believe is one of your biggest drivers of procrastination. So what can you do about that?
But I'm okay in the morning.
Yep.
Oh my god. So
Because next week's going to be great for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like I'm angry with people, just like say there's me doing other stuff. But one thing I have been procrastinating about, and I know why I've done it, and it is work related. So
Yep.
I've got a concept for advertising, right? For listings to put videos together for me. And I've taken snippets of videos saying,
Yep.
we're not doing this, every video would be something real estate related. We're doing this, which is shipping the cows, getting the new cows in,
Yep.
dog walk, something like that. It's a concept, right?
Yep.
So I've got all these videos and stills and stuff that they can put together. And then I was supposed to send it to her like 3.5 weeks ago, so I actually did it yesterday.
Okay.
And the reason why is because I want it to be perfect.
Yeah.
So what I did was I went onto Canva and then I was putting the videos together myself because I didn't want them to look dirty, because some of them have got mistakes and all, they're too long. And
Yeah.
she said, don't worry about it. We'll do all the editing for you. That's part of what you pay for.
Yeah.
Our guys will do it for you. But I still want
Yeah.
it to be better. And then of course I couldn't get there much of it. I just sent them all the videos.
So what was can you understand, define that pivotal moment where you go, oh fuck it, I'm just going to send them?
I just time frame. I've got a meeting with you today, and she'll be
Okay.
disappointed that I
Okay.
haven't done it.
Okay.
And
So
I'm like, okay, so let's just do what she asked in the first
Yeah.
place, rather than trying to make it perfect because I don't need the skills.
So the meeting today,
Yeah.
is it? What's the meeting about today?
Oh, so that's our coaching session.
Okay. All right. So
how we're going, how the advertising going, what we're struggling with, other advertising sort of ideas.
okay. So the meeting today isn't to deal with the stuff that you sent through specifically.
Well, I haven't seen it through yourself,
Yeah, but
right?
yeah.
And then I know I haven't done it, and it was actually an easy thing to do. I
Yeah.
just had to get more of my phone and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So let's go back a step, and I know this is sounds very specific to you, Lana, but it's relevant to all of us here. So you knew you were taking the videos, right? You knew you had to have them by this coaching session today. Yeah. So where was that time in your calendar? You know, but can you see that? See the relationship there? So, and this is a really difficult concept too, because it's hard for us to understand an alternative reality. But if we can try out as much as possible and go back, and it'd be a good exercise for you, Nicole and Barry, to do as well. Go back 2.5 weeks when and someone says, hey, I want you to take the videos. I want you to send them to me. Part of the package is that we edit them for you and we make them look beautiful. What could you have done at that point that would have been far more effective and efficient for you?
Just to have done it.
Yeah,
Just seen the videos.
but you had to record them first, though, right?
Oh, you got had some already.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
I just sent it what I had.
Yep.
Okay, here's a start.
Yep.
Here's the concept. They want the concept in writing, so
Yeah.
that's cool. But it's that perfection I want it.
Yeah. 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 So I get that. Absolutely. And we spoke a little about perfection last week, that perfectionism, right? And it's a mindset shift because perfectionism isn't a thing. Like, it's not. We can't be perfect. Even a brain surgeon, well, would like them to be perfect. I'm sure they've messed somebody up along the way. You know, we wouldn't like to think about that. So, and we spoke about, in terms of perfectionism for you, and this is a conscious thing. Like, we have to consciously do, okay, what is good enough? What is good enough? I mean, you've also got time frames to keep to. Yeah, so and imagine, so you sent through yesterday?
Yeah, I got really good.
Yeah, yeah. So imagine another scenario then when you were meeting today to go through the final product. And you just sent them yesterday. So what's this woman's name? Courtney. So Courtney's working all late night last night trying to get this shit organised for you because you took 2.5 weeks to get it to her. Yeah, but do you know, like we don't think about those things as well. We often don't think about the other person, and we're going to talk a little bit today in terms of communication. But we think about what we need and what we're doing. Often, if we just stop for 2 seconds and go, okay, if I leave this any longer, it's going to put Courtney under a shitload of pressure. Maybe I'll just get it to her as soon as possible. And as soon as possible is a bullshit excuse too, right? As soon as possible. When's that? When's as soon as possible? Just when I feel like it. And that's when we look at structure priority. It was obviously not a huge priority to get it to her, but it was. There was a deadline. Yeah. 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 So we. Yeah. And
I had an email that is sitting there that I haven't replied to, which I know would actually, if I replied to this email, could potentially lead to some like really good, like future stuff.
So
and I haven't
what?
replied to it.
Do you know? Can you think about why?
Well, like I do, but I don't, and I don't want to sound like a dick.
Yeah.
And that's why I haven't answered it, and it's been sitting there like in my mind.
Okay.
Like I want to report this person. Like a week in a bit. I know.
So, and these are the things to consider, right? These are the things to consider. So, what is the we'll come to that in a minute because I do want, going back to yours, Lana, you said just before that you did it yesterday and it felt,
I felt good because it was easy, really. They
Yeah.
get off your ass and just
okay, so remember we spoke about the destination and journey? Like for you, that journey was, the destination, sorry, was great because there's those endorphins. I felt good because I actually fucking done it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a perfect example of a time when you can think about that destination. Don't think about the journey. Don't think about all the pissing around and mucking around and the unnecessary stuff that you did. It felt really good to get it done. So maybe next time focus on how good it felt to get it done and go, okay, well, let's just fucking get it done. I would also encourage you to use your calendar more. Okay, this is this day. I'm putting it in this day, and I'm sending it to Courtney. It's in the calendar. It's got to be done, and I don't want to leave it till Tuesday to do it. So you've got it written down there. It's a guiding light for you to get that done, right? I was going to say, but it's already done. I was going to say that would be a really good one to put into your workbook. Yeah, but you've already done it. So. Yeah, yeah. And for you, Nicole, like it, and again, we come back to that. Yeah, that email's not going to go away. That you're going to have to reply at some point. And what is the potential result if you leave it? Let's say it's been a week. If you leave it another week or another 2 weeks, because right now you've got no real genuine intention to reply. You should do it, but you've actually got no real intention on doing it because it's scary. That's the bottom line, right? There's some fear there around looking silly or not looking as professional or not whatever, not meeting your own expectations. So let's say another 2 weeks that you haven't answered it. What's the consequence of that? Potentially, you don't know, but yeah. So yep. So given that you are a little bit, I guess there is that fear and that anxiety around looking stupid, what is something that you think you could do that's going to help to mitigate that for you? But is that going to mitigate that fear though? Just doing it? Like when I sit here, and I don't know the context of this email, but when I sit here, I can see two very, very capable colleagues, right? And I don't know whether it's something you want to share. I'm just thinking out loud. But what's wrong with drafting it and saying, hey, Barry, or hey, Lana, or hey, George, do you mind just checking this for me? This is how I'm feeling. How would this come across, do you think? You know, yeah. I do it with Nicole, yeah. Yeah. Mm.
And then they came back and being like,
Yeah.
X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden
So now you're like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my God.
Yeah.
So if we go back a step, when you first made contact, were you expecting them genuinely to come back going, yeah? Or were you kind of, they might, or was it a surprise when they come back? Yeah, yeah.
Because, I was surprised.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then of course I started to go
I was just exactly that you didn't start to doubt yourself then. You would doubt yourself right at the start because they probably won't, but oh my God, they have. You know, there's that self-doubt right from the start, not from when they came back to you. Right when you sent that email, you were kind of, well, they probably won't. They might. It'd be nice if they did. Eh? Yeah. I don't, and now that they have come back, go, yes, you're going, oh my God, they actually did. And fuck, now I've got to reply, you know?
And it's crazy because it could be something that is actually quite a good, future thing. And it's like, for me, it was like, what are you doing? Why are you taking so long?
Yeah. So, again, is that in your, and it's difficult with emailing, but we're going to talk about that today. Have you given yourself a time frame for that?
Yeah, a week ago.
And that was in your calendar, or was that just like a? Okay, so yeah, yeah. So there's this is like 2 examples. 2 times we haven't really backed ourselves. 2 times we haven't really done what we can do and what we know we should be doing to make our lives easier, right? We spoke a lot about creating structure and prioritization, okay, and we will revisit that. I can't emphasize enough the power and the value of doing that. I would hazard a guess and be very comfortable and confident doing so that would, if you guys had created or understood the priority of this particular task, and created some structure around when you're going to do it and how you're going to do it, that you might quite likely wouldn't have been where you are. Because there's that drive. And we know research shows us very, very clearly that structure and prioritization reduce procrastination significantly, because there's a lot of that decision fatigue comes along with procrastination, right? Like, I've got to make a decision on when, I've got to make a decision on how, I've got to make this other decision. So it's too hard. I don't want to make all those decisions right now. You put it into your calendar, the decision's made. That's when you're doing it. Decision's done. You don't have to think about it anymore. So our calendar and understanding priorities reduces our decision fatigue, which gives us far greater cognitive energy levels, so greater clarity, less of that kind of brain fog, and far less procrastination, because we don't have to every day think about what am I going to do now, what am I going to do now, what am I going to do now. Okay?
I think you're right. No, we are confident people, but we lack self-confidence.
Yeah.
And that holds us back, well, it holds me back from doing something because it's not going to be perfectly right or professional, or what if they say no, so I'm not backing myself.
See, I don't see that. Seriously, I hate that.
It's all right.
Yeah.
That is odd. Yeah.
I would also say, Lana, that you come across as a very confident person.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you are a confident person.
I've just taken on.
Yeah, and
You just
You hide it,
yeah.
You do
And
hide.
it shows on things that you don't do because they're the ones where people could say no.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the ones
And now, if if you know they're going to say yes. And if we think about and this is again something I do want to talk about next week, but if we think about our self-confidence levels, our self-confidence is built or destroyed on success and failure. Success builds up our self-confidence, failure erodes it. Okay, and that makes sense, right? Like, that's pretty straightforward. So what frustrates me a lot is this perception of failure as an erosion to our self-confidence is a social construct. 100% is. So it's something that's been beaten into you over your 40 odd years of living, you know? I gotcha. You know what I mean? Like, and again, we will talk about this a bit more deeper next week, but if we go back to when we're babies, when we're little and we're learning to walk, we don't take 2 steps, fall over and go, oh my God, should I get up and take another one? Oh my God, what if I fall over? Oh my God, what if I hit my head? We don't. Failure at that point is a learning mechanism. And that's what failure should be. But as we grow, we're always taught, oh, you got last. You're shit. You didn't win it. You lost. You weren't successful. You did that wrong. And there's all these negative consequences for failure. So that erodes our self-confidence. Instead of, for the last 39 years of your life, Lana, you do it, you fucking up something, and someone goes, oh shit, I'm really sorry about that. What happened? Can we unpack that a little bit and look at why you ran last in that running race, and what could you do differently next time? That's just not something that is in our society. It's starting to get better. Most often get, oh, you got last, and our self-confidence is, phew. So how do we create those environments within ourselves and within our workplace is really important. But again, as I said, we're digressing into next week. Getting ahead of myself. So today, what I do want to talk about, what I would really love for you to do this, to go through this workbook. I think just the reflective nature of the workbook, and then the goal setting around how you might go about, once you've identified your procrastination triggers, how you might go about creating some change around those, I think will be really valuable. Okay, so I'd love for you to have a go through that. And it's a online PDF, so you don't need to print it out. You don't need to send it to me, but if you want to, obviously you are more than welcome and I can give you my feedback. But it is just an editable PDF, so you can just do it online. Okay, and as I said, the exercise is for your benefit. It's not, there's no right or wrong answer. I'm not a teacher, I'm going to tick it off and stuff. So, I thought Mary might be here today, but that's all right. So, Barry, I'm going to give you that one. Give you that one. And I'll give you that one and I'll do this one. So I've got, this is an email. You've each got an email. And don't start reading it yet. I want you to read it and then I'm going to ask you what is in, what the question, what the email, the send of the email is wanting. Okay, so go. Turn it over when you finish reading it. Yeah, I know, right? So it took you and I 11 seconds to read it, and it took you guys up to, I know you'd be a little bit before, but up to 35 seconds to read it. What was the sender wanting? Like, what was the purpose of the email? Pardon? What about for your one? Your, same, but yours and mine are the same, and yours are the same. What's
Did you read the whole thing?
Theirs is shorter.
I didn't read the whole thing.
so? What am I getting at here?
This was just a load of verbal. They were making excuses. It just asked the question. Like, I haven't said that he was important. Please send it. They said.
Yeah. So this is the other one. Nicole, do you want to give yours to Barry?
Yeah, that's the thing they say. They need to know about lunch and maybe it's too big and maybe this happened. It's like giving them the excuses of why they haven't sent it.
Yeah. And this is what happens so often when we communicate with one another. And often it's not because we want to waste people's time, but we don't want to upset people.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
it's not about, yeah, I want to be pleasant, I want to be lovely, I want to be polite, I want to be respectful, I want to be courteous, and I want to take lots of their time. I don't want to take lots of time. That's going to be the result, right? There was another really important thing in the short one, which you both all read. Can you identify what that might have been? Yes, thank you. Okay, it's not, just when you can. If you can get it by the end of the week, that would be amazing. Oh, look, sorry, I can't. Like that. You know.
They wanted it by the end of the day, but they did send an email that.
No, that was me sending it to myself last night. yeah. I wanted it to look like a real email, so I sent it to myself. Yeah. Yeah. End of the day, yeah.
Claire needs to send it.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the kind of email that we want to be sending ideally.
Yeah.
But one of the things, when I talk about communication, one of the things that is really important is that we have to understand communication is a team game. It's a team sport. Like, we've all got to be on the same page. We've all got to be kicking the ball in the same direction if we're football, whatever. Okay? Because if we don't, we end up with people writing that email because they don't want to upset anybody. But we don't expect this email. What we expect is this email. So let's agree on it. It is a little bit different for you guys in terms of your contract. You don't all work in the same office, but the concept is the same, right? And there's two main email recipients when we work. Who might they be? Groups. Yeah, so there's external, our clients, and there's internal, each other. All right? If Lana's emailing me, Lana wants a file, I would be more than happy for her to say, hey, Craig, can you find me that Henderson file by the end of the day? And I could go back and go, yep, done. I don't need any more than that. But if Nicole, if you sent me this lovely email wanting the Henderson file, lovely, beautiful, and I said, yes, I don't want you thinking that I'm a prick or I'm rude or, do you know what I mean?
It depends. If something comes up.
Yeah, I actually do use emoticons a lot because for that reason. Emoticons? What? Emojis, yeah.
If I get a thumbs up,
Yeah.
it's passive aggressive.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
A thumbs up is passive aggressive.
Oh, shit, I better stop using it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, sweet.
It's passive aggressive.
Yeah.
It is passive aggressive.
Now I'm confused, Nicole.
It's passive aggressive. 100%. Because it is like, yeah, that's what it is. That's sticky. No, that's rude. That's rude.
Okay, I'm going to have to rethink my use of emojis now then. So I come back to that team, the team approach,
I've had to write ones like this in the past.
and there is a place for those,
Yeah.
100%. And this is exactly why I said that communication is a team sport. We need to understand as a team when this is appropriate and necessary and when this is acceptable. And if we don't, that's when we start to piss each other off. Because, well, why, Nicole, why did you write all that shit on here? I just asked me for the Henderson report. Or, oh, what?
What was your fucking blood?
Yeah, exactly. Or that.
But this is the thing is though that I don't know if it's like a women to men thing, but if I sent a message like this,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, if I'm getting a complaint about it being rude or
Yep.
short, it'll be from a man.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
A man
Men.
would be receptive to this emotional stuff.
Yeah.
Because
Because it's coming from a woman.
Yes,
do you
from a
think?
woman, for me.
Yeah.
Remember the complaint you got from the old admin lady about your email being...
Well, no, that's different. That was a different one altogether. I'm talking about currently in my
Yeah.
team. If I sent that to a man, and
Within the organization.
yes, it would be a man complaint.
So there's a perfect reason that as a team, there needs to be some agreed on set of principles about how you email.
Yeah.
Right? Because to me, within your team, this is how you should be emailing.
Yeah, nice quick.
Absolutely. Even that is elaborate.
Yeah, we want one.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. But you're telling me you're getting pushback. Well, you're being very blunt, Nicole. What's going on with you? Yeah. The reason that's happening is because there's no agreed on set of principles.
Yeah.
We haven't all sat around the table and go, okay, guys, this is how, when we're at one agency, this is how we communicate. We have that. Everybody's in agreement. You bring on your new property manager. You sit down with your new property manager. Hey, welcome aboard, Wendy. Love to have you here. These are our policies and systems and procedures. And by the way, here's our one on communication. And this is how we email at one NZ, one agency. Exactly. Just fucking email it. It's fine. When it's external, when it's a client, property manager, whatever, then we might be a little bit different. Okay. So it's about that agreed on principle. So when we talk about communication, and this is a really important concept to understand. I should have changed it. I often put you're a dick on here. So someone just throw these words at me. Say them with some emotion too. Like how Hey? Yeah. You know, like these words are words. They carry no emotion, they carry no meaning, they carry no, no sense of the intent behind them. This, what you see here, is 7% of how we communicate. That's it. The words that you see, 7% of our communication. And we've always said, like, you're a dick, you know. That's where the problem is, and that was going to be my next question. So, how does, and this is true, and we're just, you mentioned that, you're a dick, or you're a dick, you know. How do you know? How do you know what I'm talking about? And I can't put it because that's passive aggressive, so I can't, you know. But and you're absolutely right. This is what we see. So, what does this exactly? So what is the consequence of this? How does this impact on our communication then? The majority of our communication is written, email or text. Majority. Sometimes we'll phone each other. Sometimes we might send a voice message. But we are only using 7% of our communication style. The other 93 is made up of what? Body language, tone,
Gestures.
yeah, facial expressions, all of the stuff that you don't get on an email or a text. So the impact, the ramifications of that are significant. Again, team agreement. We need to understand each other so that when we communicate, we can at least fill in the gaps of part of that 93%. We're not going to fill it all in, and that's where I am a big advocate of emojis because, and I don't even know, I think see them and go, what the fuck does that one even mean? You know, and then the kids say, what? How do you get that from? But anyway, like, I mean, I'll use the laughing one, the sad, you know, also, I guess the problem there is too, though, that, like, I would have used, I don't know how many times you've thought, oh, geez, Craig's very passive aggressive in his emails to me because I'm sending you that, you know? So we still have that disconnect, right?
I have one of my salespeople who notoriously does it. Now he knows that he knows his customer, he sends more of this together.
More often.
More often. But that's okay, because I know that he's well-meaning.
Yeah.
He knows he's just taking the piss.
Yeah, yeah. 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 So even emojis don't solve the problem. So we have to be really careful in how we communicate with one another. Okay?
Years ago, I had a friend, and somebody sent me this joke. It was something around the lines of, we were on a boat together, and both of us, you've been a really good mate, blah, 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 and there's only one life jacket, I really fucking miss you.
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny, and so I sent it on to my mate, and thinking, oh, yeah.
So that's why it's funny.
He didn't speak to me for a couple of months. And I'm like, is there a problem? He says, oh, have you gotten over yourself yet? I'm like, what are you talking about? He says, oh, that bloody thing about the life jacket. Dude, it was a joke.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It was a seriously joke.
But, you know, again, that's another perfect example of just reading words. You know, like if you had been beside and read it off, you know.
It was so fucking clear. It was a
Yeah,
joke.
yeah, oh, absolutely. But
How do you not understand that?
this is the problem, though, right? You don't know the moment he read it.
It's like no what she thinks is passive aggressive.
Yeah, yeah. And we, as human beings, we live our life with blinkers on. We 100% do. So, and sometimes that's out of our control, right? Like, you don't know what your mate was doing the moment he read that. He may, and you know, I'm obviously just thinking out there, he may have just had an argument with his partner. He may, we don't know. Do you know what I mean? So we think, oh, you fucking idiot. Well, don't be so serious. Oh, yeah, well, my mother's just passed away, mate. It's not the fucking right. Do you know what I mean? We don't know these things. I put a post on LinkedIn a wee while ago. I was driving Some people are very negative. I was dropping my daughter at school, driving past, and I saw this woman walking down the street. She just looked, and I was driving past. She was just right there, pushing a pram with a little baby and a little toddler about 3 behind her on a scooter, like 3-4 meters behind. This woman was looking. And I thought, well, you sour bitch. Talk to your child. And I thought, well, hang on, who are you to judge her in that much of it? I don't know. She may have had an argument this morning. Her partner may be on shift work and she's had to deal with the kids on her own. She's really tired. But we don't think about those things. We don't think about what our mate was doing or what happened in his or her life. Anyway, that's digressing a bit. So, system best practice. We will carry on this next week, because I do want you to take away a couple of things. So I want to talk about best practice in terms of our emailing. Most of this you'll have heard, but I'd be interested to know how much of it you've done. Because this is not rocket science, right? Turn off your notifications and unsubscribe. And we are going to reopen the debate around when we answer our phone and emails. Okay, so that's coming. It might not be till next week. Have all of you turned off your notifications and unsubscribed to all the bullshit in your work ones? Biggest cause of time wasting is, I'll just check the email. It's just come through on my phone. Or ping's come up, I'll just jump in, it might be important. It's not that important, right? And unsubscribe. So keep those subscriptions to your personal one. Now that's where they should stay, right? Unless it's a professional body. Yeah, Mm. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And you haven't asked for it.
Yeah.
So and there's some stuff on you can't get rid of it all, like singles, dating, and casinos. You can't even stop those events unless you.
Does Mecca know you're on singles dating website?
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen recently some of them, they have it's like a 2-layer unsubscribe.
Yes.
It's kind of stop and unsubscribe or something like that. And I just don't fucking want your emails.
Unsubscribe here, and then there'll be all the
Yeah.
boxes below.
Yeah.
Where you have to untick.
Yeah. So that's just a bit cheeky, I think, hey. So I have, for example, I like everybody, and I'm ashamed to admit it, I buy shit off Temu. Mostly cycling stuff and that kind of stuff. Mostly unnecessary as well, but there's another conversation. Yeah. But so now I get just like inundated with Temu and Alibaba. And I think AliExpress see me contacting Temu, so they go, oh, we'll jump in there and send them shit as well. So, it's just like, it's insane, the level of emails. So they come through to my personal one. And I actually just delete them all the time, but I don't know why I even have them. Turn off your notifications, unsubscribe is something that we talk about a lot, but is actually very rarely followed through on. And again, the notifications one we'll come back to in terms of, do we need to have them on anything at all? Do we need to have our emails on our phone? That's a debate that we're going to have, okay? Unsubscribe is a bit of a no-brainer. When is your win? And what I mean by that is, are you checking your emails at the most appropriate time? Or are you using it as a form of procrastination, for example? Can't be fucked doing this, I'll just check my email, see what's in there. If you are a little bit more structured and you have identified a period of time that you want to be in your emails, I want to do my emails for this hour, is that hour the best hour, or are you stealing your brain capacity? If my best cognitive time is between 9 and 11, am I spending a lot of that time just answering emails? And I don't really need to be highly cognitive to answer these emails. It does, 100%, and it depends on the type of email as well. Yeah.
Business sales side of it and the property management. And the property management receives most of its communication.
Yeah.
And all that communication is something that needs to get on people quickly.
What's fairly quickly though? Because that's a bit of a loose time frame, right? Is fairly quickly within 10 minutes?
I
Within
would say within 48 hours.
Okay, absolutely.
Quicker.
Yep.
One of my landlords who has 6 properties phoned me yesterday and he said, look, I'm really sorry, but can we send out notifications to the tenants now because I need to get the properties tomorrow
Yeah.
to testing because I've just been landed on me, we're going to have this.
Yeah. And I would then go back and say, well, mate, why are you sending it to me now then? Did you only just find out? But, and that's that 20%, that's that shit happens, right? That's going to always happen. But, I mean, you said 48 hours. So if I do my emails, I do half an hour in the morning, half an hour at lunchtime. No, that's just it. I'm not suggesting, and particularly for Wendy when she comes on, a big part of her job is going to be emails and phone, I imagine. But there is still an efficient and effective way to manage that rather than just being in and out all day. And that's what I'm getting at, right? Yeah. Yep. But she'll have other shit to do too. Creating contracts, home visits, that kind of stuff. You don't want her on the way to 42 Pitbull Street and she's checking her emails on her phone on the way there. So how do we manage that? And there's a way we can manage that for her that's efficient, effective, and gives her time to focus on these other parts of her role as well, rather than she's interrupting herself all the time, procrastinating because I just want to check my emails, whatever. So, and that's why the when is so important. When are you organising your time? When are you structuring your time to do your emails? Don't steal your cognitive energy by just doing emails. So be mindful of that. 4Ds, and we talked about the 4Ds back with the Eisenhower, and it's something we can really very, very easily and quickly assign to our inbox. So do, delete, diarise, or delegate. Okay, in our inbox. Do it if it's an instant one, right there. Do it if it needs to be diarised. I'll chuck it thing in my diary. If it's fucking pointless, I'll delete it. If it's for Lana, I'll forward it on. And we can do that within that time block that we give ourselves. We can do all of that within that time block. What we shouldn't be doing is unreading emails. And I know we do it all the time, right? So if you've got an email and you don't want to do it now because it's going to take a little bit longer, then diarise it. Put it in your calendar. There's something I need to do at a certain time. It's going to take me a certain amount of time to do it. Folders and flags. Yeah, folders are a great idea. And I won't tell you at all how to use your folders because they're such a personal thing. It's like filing, right? It's completely up to you. In terms of flags, or I think there's a couple of different terms for them. I am very, very reluctant to use flags. And I think, what is it, categories maybe? There's a couple of different terms. Yeah, because what does it mean? I've flagged it, but what does it actually mean? It's important. Well, why is it important? What makes it important? What's the time frame for it? And if you color code the flags, I've got 5 different colors. What do the colors mean? So then we're making decisions and we're trying to keep all this stuff up in our brain. So personally, I don't even use flags or stars. So I use the 4Ds instead of flagging or starring an item because it means nothing to me. And our hack system, and that's where those ones we want to diarise. It's something I need to do, put it in my hack system, and then I can order it by priority. All right. Now these are some really good added extras that you can use. Do you guys use templates? Yes. So good, right? So good. And have you heard of Quick Steps? This is Outlook. You guys use Outlook, eh?
No, we're
Google. So Google has a similar thing. I'll look into that for next week. Templates are awesome and something that we should do more of. I have about 12 templates for myself. God. Yeah. So good. So good. And you're also breeding consistency, which is great. Autoresponders are great. And particularly as we go through this process, obviously my hope is that we'll get to a point where you are you're responding to emails and things at set times. And that's where an autoresponder can be really useful because you don't want especially now, we're moving from a system or a situation where we're very responsive to, and we're going to hopefully move slowly to a situation where we're responding a couple of times a day. What you don't want, you've already set a precedent now that I'll email you back in a couple of minutes or half an hour. So chuck an autoresponder on, hey, thanks for your email, just to let you know, my email times are Information is power, right? So inform your email senders that yes, you've acknowledged them. You've got one on, I think, haven't you? Yeah. You know?
Well, I'd like to sit in front of my computer and like my fast response to your email.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm doing that late.
Yeah. You know, and that's great because you're letting me know, yes, you've received it, but I shouldn't be expecting an immediate response. Okay, so autoresponders are great, you know, and we often use them for just, hey, I'm on leave, you know, and out of office. Specific rules, and so rules are, generally speaking, a quick step is something that you can set up, and there's an alternative in Google, and just push a button and it'll go. So it might be, Lana, you get an email from Nicole, and you have a series of things that you want to flag it as a, or put it in a specific category, and you've got a Nicole folder, and you want to unread it, and then you might also want to organise a meeting with you as a result. So you push one button, you set up this quick set, one button, and it does all of that for you. So you don't have to categorize it, move it, piss around with it. It just does it all. You set it up and it does it all. And we'll go through that next week. And add-ons, again, something we don't use, but some of them are so good. And again, it's a very personal thing, the add-ons, right? What apps we can add on to make our life a little bit easier. The thing I do see though with add-ons is that often we see this shiny new piece of tech and we go, oh, this would be fucking great. But it actually takes longer to figure it out, and it's actually not that productive. It just looks really good. Do not unread. So the way so you know how you go in, you read it, go, oh, I'll do that later, unread it. Mark it as unread again. So what kind of email might come in that you want you to come back to?
Because I'm just going through my emails, going,
Yep.
that's correct, that's rubbish.
Yep.
That I forward on. So I do basically what you say.
Yep. Yep.
It's the one that if I don't unread it, I start to say I need to come back to that.
Yep.
So I So now I'm going to start on. So either say anything and say I've unread it, so it goes back again.
Yeah.
So instead of that, I just hit start next to it.
Yeah. So it's the same. Yeah. So you're still going to come back to it though, right?
I didn't make it unread.
Yeah. So why do you star it?
Because it's not the time to do that right then and there.
So what you're saying is I star it because I need a bit of time to complete this particular. So then what do you do?
Well, I'd still do it like probably that same day or maybe within a couple of days because it's urgent and it's.
How do you know how urgent it is?
Because I've read it. I know what it is.
So you're remembering that it's urgent. What if you forget?
Exactly.
You've never forgotten.
No, so it's done. I can't pay that bill or whatever, or I'll come back to that, you know, when I go on IHD and I pay the bills at the same time, you know.
Okay.
It's just the way to get it right, you know, get rid of all the shit. I mean, you get so many emails, none of it's crap.
Absolutely, and that's where we look at those 4 Ds, right? Yeah. So those star ones, you'll just come back to them like you'll be sitting there doing something. Oh, I'll just deal with those couple of emails.
No,
I'll pay the bill. Okay. All right. What is a good suggestion? It might be a good way for you to move forward is to, and remember we got in the Trello board task list. So drag those things into your task list and do them all the yellow stars, do them all at one hit. Boom. Get them out of the way. Right, and then they're off your inbox as well. Then they're not starred. Just put a wee note in your Trello task board and make sure you've got an hour and a half on a particular day to do your task list. Smash them all out at once. That way, again, you don't have to. Because you're making lots of decisions at the moment. I'll go back to my stars. Which one of my stars am I going to do? When am I going to do my stars? Yeah, but you don't have
They don't know that.
then brilliant, right? Then you fill that time with something else. But if you, right at the start, you go, check my emails, okay, those I would normally start, I'm going to put them into my task list. And I know that I have an hour on Thursday or whatever for tasks. No decision, no decision, no decision. It's just done. I don't have to make all these decisions constantly, which causes decision fatigue. I know that they're there. I know at 10 o'clock on Thursday I'm going to do them. That's all I have to worry about. I don't have to think about what they are, when I have to do them. Does that make sense? You don't sound convinced, though. So email construction, and that's why we were reading that. Another thing, another situation where we just don't give ourselves a minute. Boom, it's off. Oh, shit, I forgot to ask Barry that. I'll send him another email. So we want to be precise and concise. So take a minute. If you think you need to, have I got everything I need to ask Barry? Or am I going to end up asking him again? And again, we come back to that hack system. Part of the reason for that holding bay is to get as much information as possible. And we take a moment there, right? So let's take a moment with our emails too. Before we fire it off, have I asked everything I need to? Have I covered all of the information that I need to cover in one email? Okay. Use a subject line. If just that's it. That's all it takes, that's all you send. And you can change it if you've got a reply all or whatever. You can change the subject line too, but it makes it harder to search. Acronyms and emojis are okay, and to a degree, replicate this in your personal email only because it's too hard to remember two different systems. So try as much as you can to keep to these in your personal systems as well. So I am going to leave it there today because we're just on 10:30 now, but I would like you to, and I'll send you some stuff this afternoon, and I'd like you to maybe make a small goal this week around what you're going to do, whether it's something on here, it might be that you want to make your goal to take a moment every time you send an email. It's going to take 30 seconds and think about it before I send it. Some you won't need to because it's so straightforward, right? Depending on the type of email. My goal is to make sure all my emails are precise and concise, whatever that might be. So I'm going to send you some stuff this afternoon, and I'd like you to just come up with a wee micro goal for 7 days, 7-day micro goal. I would also, again, love for you to go through this activity just because I think it would be really valuable for you. My suggestion would be you put some time in your calendar to do it so that it gets done. And that's pretty much it for today on comms, but I do want to go next week and there's a couple of things I want to show you and we'll do together. So bring your laptops next week and we'll go through a couple of really useful tools in Google that I think would be really useful for you. All right? Cool. Thank you. I was going to say, is that your background?